Hey, Anthony here with Level 1 Gaming, and today I'm reviewing Threshold on Steam on PC. And it's nothing like you've ever played before. You begin the game by seemingly being buried, but then awakening for your first work contract. For what, it's unclear yet. Things are vague, but heavy on atmosphere. This is one of those games where the visuals, art, sound effects, and music all come together to create a tone and help in building the world as you create your concept of what is going on as things progress. After submitting my contract to the loud but faceless voice demanding it, I enter decontamination and a check to ensure I'm not bringing anything with me. I enter an elevator, it begins to rise, and my day begins. As the elevator rises, the music moves faster as this ticking, almost like a heartbeat, moves just as fast along with it. The words train, must, run appears on the wall, word by word, again and again, cementing it into my mind, the player. I rise up to the top and I see I'm on the surface. A train speeding forward ahead. It must be that train that must run. I meet up with Mo, the person I am relieving of their duties after a 16-hour shift. He's confused why they didn't give me a pad of paper to write with, as on the surface, oxygen is low, and everyone writes on paper to communicate. The air has become toxic, resources are few and far between, and water is scarce. The excellent world building continues as you realize the dire situation you are in. I am in the country of Canada, as the game allows you to choose which country to set your game in. Curiously, when it says this, it makes it clear this changes the difficulty of the game, not the language. I chose Canada since that's where I live in the real world. I have no idea yet how it affected my run completing the game for the first time, but I am curious to do more runs and learn. Already the game lures me back to it for another run and to learn how each country changes the game. And this is something I did experiment with after and did not regret. I learned how to use my whistle now at the horn to ensure the train keeps moving at the pace that is needed. However, blowing the whistle uses the little oxygen I have. Luckily, Mo gives me a small cartridge with oxygen inside. Terrifyingly, you need to bite down on the glass to break it open and inhale the oxygen. I never got used to this. The sound effect and implications really made using one vital and gross at the same time. As the train makes ground, I do a good job keeping its pace. A ticket will slowly be printed that will allow me access to another oxygen canister to keep myself alive. I use it at the machine, bite into it, and I continue my routine a bit more until it's time to contact Mo again and see what else might be needed. Eventually, I'm also introduced to using my bucket, which can be filled with various substances and things, none of them appealing, which when used with the recycler either provides me a ticket or has some kind of interaction. Not all of them good, as you can damage the recycler if you put the wrong substances in it. Planks of wood are also introduced, which can be used to make new paths that help reduce the need to jump and use oxygen. While some planks you remove can cause certain events to occur, or even some might have something written on them. Slowly, you piece together your routine and try to make it as efficient as possible, using these various techniques and knowing how to properly use the recycler. There is downtime as you get everything moving nicely as you watch the train's pace continue and things run smoothly. However, over time, you will start to notice things, as if the game is planning that downtime for you to see and find these things out. If you look and stare at some things in the world, new events may occur. You start to piece things together, and what you think you are doing may not be all as it seems. And this is where I basically want to stop talking about the game, as the slow realization that dawns on you during your routine, and as you find new pieces to the mystery, these emotions, feelings, and memories you create during that time is what the game wants to evoke from you. So I want you to experience that on your own. Just know that there are multiple ways for you to interact with the narrative using the various tools you have, and things you find or look at. Push the boundaries of what you think you can do in the game. Try to break things, try to look at everything, and don't play it just once. After completing my first successful run and getting what I believe to be an ending to the story, I was tempted to do another run. And when I did, I accidentally got another new ending before I got very far. There is a lot of detail in how you can interact and change things, and from what I peeked at, there are even more endings make me want to go back again and again. The replayability comes from the intriguing narrative and the design to unravel more of this mystery. The world building is so strong here, the narrative is engaging, and the gameplay has a fun rhythm to it as you perfect your runs. I very much recommend you play this game, all played from a first-person perspective in this retro-stylized graphics engine that makes the game look very much like a PlayStation 1 game, with the crunchy and wobbly textures. The sound design is really well done, where the game knows when to use sound, but also how haunting silence, or just the sound of an eerie wind can be. The art design has a strong vision of the world it wanted to represent, and it comes across just as strong to the player, where your memories of playing this game will be more like an experience you are remembering, with so many of your senses being activated to immerse you in this harsh world. This game is one experience I will not soon forget. This comes from the mind of Julien Eviel, a veteran of the AAA industry from studios like Arcane and Crytek, working on games like Dishonored, Death of the Outsider, Deathloop, Hunt Showdown, and even the upcoming Crysis 4. While still doing their day-to-day AAA job, they created Threshold, which will stick in my mind for years to come, if not the remainder of my conscious gaming career. Threshold is out now and available on Steam. Like I said, pick it up today. It's worth it. Thank you. And again, this is Anthony with Level 1 Gaming, and we'll see you next time.